Welcome to another episode of the Groove Junction, episode 77 this week. Wow, 77 episodes. That is amazing. Absolutely amazing. Now, listen, guys, I was going to have a guest and a co-host with me today, but unfortunately, they're very busy, so we had to reschedule for another week. Maybe next week, maybe the week after. We're going to look into that one. So you've just got me, I'm afraid. Just me today. I've got a couple of things to talk about. Nothing too major, nothing really hitting the notes, if you like to say that, you know. We're just going to get down to it. A couple of things I want to talk about. Very short podcast for you, but I like to drop a podcast every Friday morning at 10 a.m. on all your major podcast providers, including Spotify and YouTube as well. Now, the podcast is a podcast for DJs, made by DJs, and it is kindly supported by our friends at Wolf Mix as well. So we're going to get down to the bare bones of it. Let's get on with the rundown this week, and the rundown is sponsored by Pro Mobile Magazine.
The Groove Junction rundown is sponsored by Pro Mobile Magazine, the magazine that's got it all. It's a game changer. They don't just do surface-level reviews, they dive deep with real practical insights. And the interviews? They feature some heavy hitters sharing seriously valuable advice. But it's not just about DJ gear. They cover everything. Marketing techniques, and even the latest tech trends like AI, which is super relevant right now. Honestly, if you're serious about your DJ career, you need to check them out. And here's the best part, we've got an exclusive deal just for the Groove Junction listeners. You can subscribe right now by searching Pro Mobile Magazine and hitting the subscribe button. Just use our special code GroovePMSUB for a 25% discount on your first year's subscription, which is 6 magazines delivered to your door. That's Pro Mobile Magazine. Don't miss out.
Thank you, Pro Mobile Magazine. So, rundown. I had a nice, easy week. If I'm totally honest, I had a very easy week. I had one event to do, which was a family party. Okay, it was my auntie's 80th birthday party. Now, they asked me months and months ago to provide the music. So I said, yeah, no problem. I've got some music, got some lights, no problem. Local venue. All the family are going. She's like the head of the family, you know, so all the family were going. Probably about 125, 150 people were going to go at a village hall, if you like, near where I live. So now went round there to have a little chat about music. You know, I want everything, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. I want people up dancing. And I said, yeah, no problem. We'll do a mixture of everything for you, all ages, you know. Love that. Really, really good. So, but she did say to me, she said, look, I don't want you standing behind there. I want you to come out and be mixed with your family, you know, dance if you want to dance, but I want you to be with the family. So I thought, yeah, okay, no problem. The platform I use is VDJ, and they've got, like, you know, I think it's called auto mix feature. Great if you want to go to the toilet, you think, quick, I've got, you know, a couple of minutes, I'll put these two together, auto mix, it doesn't matter if I'm a little bit late, that's fine. So I thought, yeah, you know, I'll compile a couple of hours worth of music, just put it in there, let it play through, no problem. So gets to the venue. Now, the venue I'm at, been there many times, and it is a nice venue. It's a big room, very, very tall room. You can't use smoke, you can't use you can't use anything like that. No bubbles, no snow, nothing like that. So it was just literally music and lights, which is fine. Now, they got the dreaded sound limiter. Now, no DJ likes a sound limiter. Okay. Now, there are some sound limiters that are, like, you know, tweaked quite nicely. So you got a nice sort of like sound. This one is like 87, 86 decibels, something like that. It's like really, really low. Now, I've been there before. Now, one of the other things about this particular sound limiter system, where the DJs plug their stuff in. Yes, if you go into the sound limiter, you hit the light goes red or whatever for a certain amount of time, that cuts all the power to, you know, whatever's in that socket, which is usually the controller and laptops and all that. But this particular venue, if you open up the fire doors, it also trips like that socket as well. So it stops the music. And the idea being, if there is a fire, people are evacuating, the doors open, the music stops, bosh, there you go. So I got there literally as the caretaker was opening up the doors. Now, every time I go there seems to be a different caretaker opening up the doors. And I said to the lady, I said, look, is there any chance that you could open that room there just next to the main hall? It's only a little room, just so I can put all my empty bags and boxes in there, and make it quicker for me to pack up at the end of the night. And she was like, proper funny with it. She was like, well, who said you could do that? I said, well, no, I'm asking you. I said, they have done it in the past. I have done it before. The last caretaker, he said it was fine. I could do it. How long ago was that? I said, well, it was before Christmas, maybe 6 months ago, maybe something like that. No, I've been here for 3 years. I said, well, I've been here in the last 3 years and I've never seen you. I said, but, it's yes or no. Can I use the cupboard, the room or not? She said, well, no. Okay, that's fine. No problem. I said, I'll set up and I'll move my bags and everything. I'll put them back in the car. And then at the end of the night, when the party's finished, I'll get the bags out of the car. She went, what, have you got to do all of that tonight? I said, well, yeah. She said, all right, I'll open the room for you. And I'm really glad that they did, because what I do is I run an extension lead from that room into the main room under my control, under my booth, plug everything in. So if the sound limiter goes off, it was an 80th birthday, it wasn't going to go off. But nevertheless, plugged it in there fine, no problem. Now, I'm glad I did, because there was quite a lot of kids. We've got quite a few kids in our family. We've got a large family. And they were constantly opening and closing the fire doors. And it was just a nightmare. So I'm so glad that I managed to put it plug in through the room and run an extension cable with us. So I was happy about that. Now, I know that sound limiters are the bane of a DJ's life. They really are. You walk in there and it is just like, you are like a happiness hoover. You're going to suck all the life out of this party, because if it's not that loud, it's not going to be good. But anyway, that was good. The music played was a mixture of everything from the 50s and 60s. So compiled a 2 hour sort of playlist, which I've just put on auto mix, that run us up to about 9:30, including like buffet music. And then I was like, right, I'll get on and I'll do like the party section, and I'll bring each track in myself. I'll do it myself, because you can read the room, you read the dance floor, and the dance floor was busy. There was a lot of my family there dancing. There was a lot of my auntie's friends from school and all of that dancing and everything as well. So the music choices that I made were the right ones. And we finished at 11:15. She wanted to finish off on New York, which was great. Everyone on the dance floor, big New York thing, and that's it, pack up. And I had the selfie pod as well. Now, I wasn't going to take the selfie pod, because it's like, I didn't see the point in need of it. And I'm glad I did, because they took over 500 photos, used the props, took over 500 photos. So now my auntie's got like a nice little memory of the event there. So yeah, really good. I mean, if you take out like a selfie pod or anything like that, or the audio guest book thing, a lot of people do that for the for weddings now, the audio guest book. I know a friend of mine, Matty Fuller, does, and I know Scott Chewin does. Great little additions. I haven't got one. I've got the selfie pod, which I need to really push a little bit more. But there we go. So that was it. Just the one event for me this weekend. So yeah, quiet one. Next weekend, a little bit busy, but I'll tell you about that in the wrap up later on in the show. As always, thanks again to Pro Mobile Magazine for sponsoring the rundown. Right, guys. So what we're going to talk about. So one of the first things I want to talk about is storage. Now, there are, and what prompts me to talk about this is the amount of gear I've got. Okay, now I know there's people like Josh Ford. I mean, he's got like a warehouse full of stuff. And there's people like, there's so many people got loads of gear. I've got loads of gear, and I was going through storage the other day, and I'm like, right, well, I don't use that. I haven't used that for a year. Right, I'm going to get rid of that. And what I found I got the most of, and I thought it would be lights. It's not lights, it's trussing. It'd be light stands, speaker stands, different things like that. And, I've got about 4 microphone stands. It's like all different ones. And I'm like, well, how have I got all of these? So I was going through, and it made me think like, I'm paying, what am I paying? 160 something quid a month for my big storage locker where I store my gear. And I'm thinking I could probably, if I was to, a bit savvy, if I was like go through this, I'd be able to reduce the amount of gear that I have and get a smaller unit, saving me money, but also making money by selling a bit of the other equipment. And I was talking to a friend of mine, and Jamie, his name is, and he was going, well, if you could sell it, you make a lot of money. I said, yeah, but I don't use this stuff. I haven't used this stuff for, I mean, one of the lighting stand things is like a triangular truss, overhead truss thing. I haven't used that for probably about 10 years. Yeah, I've still got it in storage, taking up space. So I'm like, well, I'll just give it away to someone. You know, why would you do that? I said, well, I'll help someone out. So I'm going to get rid of it, like some trussing and everything, and some speaker stands and some light stands. I've got the gig bar, which I'm going to give to my friend James, who I do the silent discos with, help him out, make a little bit of a turn there. I'm going to see if Sophie Lou, if there's anything I've got that Sophie Lou wants, because Sophie Lou, Real Not Perfect. If you don't know about Sophie Lou, mate, get on Real Not Perfect. Have a look, mate. Brilliant. Got to get her back on the show and co-host with me. Love Sophie Lou. She's on the side of Disco Tour, but she also does, I say, Real Not Perfect as well. Love that girl. Right. So that got me thinking about storage. Now I'm wondering, a couple of my mates just store their stuff in like a shed at their house, or they store it in an under the stairs cupboard or a spare bedroom or something like that. And I was wondering what other people do, because there are different types of storage out there, and they vary in price. Some have got like, there's Big Yellow, there's Safe Store, there's Honeycomb, there's like a number of around here, and they all vary in price. And I'm just wondering what people do to store their things, Now, I've got all hours in my storage, so I can pretty much go in there whenever I want, after a gig, before a gig, early hours in the morning. I can go in there, get rid of my stuff. It's not a problem. I don't have to leave it in the car overnight, which is one of the other biggest risks as well, especially for people that have vans. Now, I've noticed that people like tradesmen, toolsmen, got tools in the van and all that, they get broken into. And the security for the vans is so expensive. It's so expensive, but it's worth doing. You've got to like secure your vans, because you don't want to get them nicked. And the thing is that the people that nick stuff out of vans, they're like opportune thieves. Because they don't know what's in the van. If it's a plain van, right, and it's not branded up on the outside or anything like that, people don't know what it is, and they won't care what it is. They want to get in and have a look and give it, I don't know what this is, but they're going to nick it anyway. And it's such a shame that happens, but that is the world we live in. Where do you store your stuff, guys? Do you store it at home? Do you store it in a storage locker? Do you have like full-on Fort Knox security around your vehicle, that sort of thing? Be interested to know, because it will help me to have another conversation with you on the Groove Junction a little bit later regarding storage and that sort of thing. Because I'm going to condense my stuff down and get a smaller unit. I think I'll probably go down from 75 square foot down to 50. That's the goal, because that is like practically near enough half my storage. So I'm going to look into that. So let me know in the comments, drop me a message or whatever. Let me know how you store your gear. It'd be interesting to know. Would be interesting to know. Now, there was another thing I was going to talk about. Obviously, the Pro Mobile conference, that's coming up not long to go now, March, 23rd of March. So haven't got long. Jack Christian's just been signed up. Now, I did have all the details on my screen, but my screen's gone blank. So I can't actually tell you about all the other keynote speakers that we've got off the top of my head. But I am going to reach out to Peter Holding and Steve Honeyball and get one of them onto the Groove Junction, do a special. Now, there isn't many tickets left, guys. All right, there isn't many tickets left. Get on there, get on the website, get your ticket. It is a great event. Jack Christian is the latest keynote speaker. You're going to learn like different things, how to use the microphone, how to use MCing. He's going to go through some social media stuff and everything with you as well. All right, so go through the website, grab your ticket. I'm going to be there. Danny Drayton was on the show last week. He's going to be there. John Lowe, I think John Lowe's going as well. John was on a little while ago as well. And there's going to be the regular people, Alan Marshall, all those, Brian Mole. They're all going to be there as well. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to it. So yeah, great. Jump on the website, guys. Get your ticket. And I'll meet you at the bar. We'll meet you at the bar. Right. I'm going to have a quick break now. And then I want to quickly talk about bookings. I will see you guys after the break. Welcome back to the Groove Junction, episode 77. Right. So I want to talk about bookings, and in particular, I want to talk about something that happened to me this week. And it's happened a few times as well, so I thought I'd bring it up. Now, we do kind of cross over with a CRM. Now, I was hoping to get Dan Ross on the show to talk about his CRM that he's built at DJ Planning Beats. Unfortunately, couldn't make it this evening, but it's okay, so we're going to get him on the show. Now, I did see, I've been following the development of Planning Beats, and honestly, if you haven't got a CRM, then you got to have a look at it. Now, I'm not going to talk about it too much because quite simply because I'm going to get him on the show and he's going to tell you all about it, what it is, what it does, how it can help you, and how it can help your business. I can tell you that there are a couple of subscriptions. There's a 2-year, 3-year, and a lifetime subscription. They are going to be available, but not for long. So if you want your lifetime subscription, all your updates, everything for life, and you've just paid one payment, and the 2-year and the 3-year package that he does, they're available at the moment, but they won't be. And then once they've gone, the CRM system Planning Beats will be £27 a month. That's I saw that on one of his latest updates. So we're going to get Dan Ross on, and he's going to tell us all about it. I don't use Planning Beats. It's no big secret. I use Studio Ninja, which is a CRM system that originally was developed for photographers. I've adapted it, and other DJs have, they've adapted it and used it, and it works for me. I've set it up and it works for me. Now, one of the things I want to talk about is I had a lead, or I've had a number of leads over the years. So I had a lead this week, came through the website, straight through into Studio Ninja, pinged on my phone, all of that, gone in there, sent them a quote, and then if they accept the quote, it automatically generates an invoice with the deposit and the payment schedule and this, that, and the other, plus a contract and a song request form and all that. It's all done automatically. It's all done automated, okay? And I sent the quote out, and the system tells me, yep, read it, haven't accepted it, still pending. I thought, no problem. She might need to talk to her husband, her other half, whatever it is. Right? Okay. So I leave it a couple of days, and then I send up a follow-up email. So, just a quick follow-up. Just wondered if you're still interested in booking, blah, 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 blah. And I can see that she's read that one and still nothing. So I thought, I'll give it another day. And I gave it another day, and I sent her a second follow-up, which she literally read straight away, and nothing. No emails back, no text messages, nothing like that at all. So I was like, right, okay. I'll just put that on and leave it. So in that time, I've had another party booking come in, same date. Okay. And again, I've sent the quote, blah, blah, blah. She's accepted the quote. She's paid the deposit. She's signed the contract. Now, not 10 minutes later, the first woman messaged me back saying, yeah, I'd like to go ahead. So I had to reach out to her and say, oh, no, I'm ever so sorry, but that availability is no longer available. Someone else has come in and booked it. You could tell by the tone of the email she wasn't very happy. And I did say to her, I said, well, I have sent you 2 follow-up emails and said you've read them and you didn't reply. I said, I can't sit there and, wait just in case you might and then potentially lose a booking. And she got the about it. And then yesterday, there was another lead from her for another date. And I said, yep, I'm available. Here's your quote, blah, 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 blah. Within 5 seconds, literally, or maybe not 5 seconds, but literally in no time at all, quote accepted, contract signed, deposit paid, job done. And I thought to myself, it's that easy. But there's only so much that we can do as DJs. If you send the emails out, they read it, and then they don't, I think, what do they call it? They call it ghosting or ignoring or whatever. Then potentially it's going to be them that are going to lose out because you're going to book up, And once you're booked up, it's not kind of like a first come, first served basis. All parties are around, relatively the same price. They're pretty much the same price, or whatever party you're at. Obviously, weddings are different and kids' parties are different. But if you was like having a birthday party, they're pretty much the same price. And it got me thinking. I mean, people were expecting the quotes quite quickly. So I had a little look around other DJs and seeing what they were kind of what they were charging, just to make sure that I'm in the same sort of bracket. Now, obviously, something's happened in the last 6 months because everybody's prices seem to have jumped up, and I mean by quite a lot. So, one company I sort of reached out to as like a fake client, if you like, asking for a 50th birthday party at a local venue in Chelmsford, where I live. 7:30 till 11:30, because that's when the bar closes. Mixture of music from the 60s right the way through to the present day. Come back with a quote at like £700, and I'm like, wow, I don't charge that. I don't charge that. I charge like $5.50. Right? I'm putting it out there. This podcast is all about sharing and caring. And that is my motto. Sharing is caring. I've said it so many times. I don't mind telling you what my prices are. All right. I don't mind that because I know that is what I'm worth. Don't get me wrong. When I started, I was going out for £180, £200, £250. Right. But that was 20 years ago. Okay. Now I'm going out at that price. But I'm thinking, what's changed? You know, you didn't get anything. You know, the guy, music and lights, whatever music you want. Yeah, well, if you can fill the dance floor, yeah, great. But what happened in the space of like sort of 6, 7 months, where it's jumped by £150? You're not getting anything extra. I don't understand how that's worked. I mean, cost of living, yeah, I get that. But it's a big jump. And I'm wondering if everybody's sort of charging the price. Now, I know that people say, well, we can't charge that up here. We have to charge, if you're up north of the country or down south of the country, we can't charge that. We won't get that. I get that. I understand that. All right. But for where I live, it just seems like a big, significant jump. And it's got me thinking about, whether I'm comfortable with what I charge. I'm comfortable with what I charge. And I'm comfortable that I am busy with it. I'm out near enough every single weekend. But am I missing a trick? Should I be putting my prices up to be the same as everyone? I don't want to be that person that, undercuts another DJ, but I know my worth and I'm quite happy with that price. But I'm thinking, well, I'm going to have to bump my prices up. Now, then there's the risk to, if I bump my price up, am I going to lose work? But then, yeah, it's a tough one, guys. I know we've been through this. We've spoken about this before. People say that events and everything that come from Facebook, that you're only going out cheap because they're from Facebook. Well, I know people that use Facebook that are millionaires. So I think that when people try and categorize people using Facebook, I think that's wrong. Okay. Let's say I've got 2 friends that are millionaires. Don't give me any of it, but I've got 2 friends that are millionaires and they're both on Facebook. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, you name it, they're all over it, So yeah, the pricing thing and the ghosting, I think they call it ghosting, where they kind of ignore you. That's all kind of bugs me. But then it was more frustrating because it's like, I'm taking time out of my day now to send you out a follow up, and you're not replying. You're reading it, you're not following. You're not. All I want is, oh no, sorry, you're too much, or no, sorry, we've changed our mind, or whatever. It'd take 2 seconds in an email. But yeah, so how do you guys deal with that if you're being ignored, if your emails are being ignored, your text message being ignored, your phone calls not being answered, that sort of thing? How do you guys deal with that? I mean, do you just give it, oh, well, I'll archive your lead and I'll move on to the next one and then hope that one comes in. If not, one don't come in, I'll have the night off. I mean, how do other people deal with it? It's frustrating. It's so frustrating because you think, oh, potentially you've got a good party coming up. Yeah, they leave it too late and that, then it's gone, or, whatever. So yeah, let me know in the comments on that one. I'm asking you guys to comment quite a lot. I had a few messages this week, which I've replied to as well, which is really, really nice. So people are still messaging in the Groove Junction. And I hope you're finding that the Groove Junction is still a helpful go-to source. Even if you're a DJ and you download it and you listen to it on the way home after a gig, or, you're sitting there on a Friday morning at 10 o'clock giving it, oh, there's me. I've got my morning coffee. I'm going to listen to the Groove Junction. Be interested to know. I mean, we are in over 30 countries across the globe, which is fantastic. People listen to us. There's a lot of people listening to us in America at the moment, looking at the stats, which is really, really nice. Obviously, the UK is the biggest one because we're UK based. So really, really good. Again, I've asked it before. I mean, if you're interested and you want to come and keep me company here on the Groove Junction, co-host with me, tell me your story, tell everybody your story, where you started, what made you get involved, tell us your history, tell us your backstory, where are you now, where you hope to be, what sort of DJ are you? I mean, you might just be a bedroom DJ. You might not be a DJ, you might be a percussionist, you might be the front of house of a wedding venue, or you might be a saxophonist or a bongo player, percussionist, or, something like that. You don't have to be a DJ. Ideally, we want people that are within the sort of the industry that we're in, deal with DJs or whatever. So if you're interested and you would like to come on, then please just reach out, drop me a PM, Instagram, the Groove Junction, emails at the bottom of the comments here. So if you want to come on, then it doesn't take long. You just have a little chit chat and chuckles, I call it. Say, yeah, come on, have a little chat with us. let us know, share your knowledge if you like. And I'm hoping that the Groove Junction still does give out that little nugget every now and then to people coming into this industry, the new DJs coming up, the young DJs. Rich Ellis is great. I've been watching Rich Ellis for over a year now on his socials, and he loves a mashup, he loves a word play, and he's doing so well. I'd really like to, I might reach out to Rich and see if we can get him on, because I can see his story being quite an interesting story. But yeah, new into the industry, relatively new into the industry, and looking at his socials, he's smashing it, and it's so good to see. So good to see. And then you look at people like Josh Ford, who we've had on the show a couple of times, like just 18 years old. He sponsors a football team. He's got, he's like the UK distributor, I think, or the UK salesperson for Bove Lighting, which is fantastic. 18, still at school. I think he's finished school actually now, but you know, there's no limits. So yeah, if you want to come onto the show, have a little chat, it doesn't take long. We'll do a little recording, and you know, we'll get it on the socials and everything for you as well. You can get yourself out there as well. Let us know your story. Right, one more quick break. I'll get my words out. One more quick break, and then we'll do the wrap up. I'll see you guys after the break. Welcome back. Right, guys, we're slowly but surely running out of time here on this episode 77 of the Groove Junction. As I say, I do apologise, I haven't got a co-host this episode. I'm going to try and get Dan Ross on very shortly in the next couple of weeks to tell you all about planning beats and an update. We've had him on the show before. Great guy. So yeah. So this week, the wrap up, what we're doing this week. So I have quite a busy one, to be fair. So midweek, I am driving up to Ipswich, and I'm going to help another DJ program in his lights into the Wolf Mix controller. Now, we are kindly supported by Wolf Mix. Going up there to help him set all his lights up through the Wolf Mix, do some live edits for him, do some presets, some statics. I'm going to do all of that for him. I'm going to talk him through, and you know, and I'm not just going to do it. I'm going to talk him through it and try and teach him how the Wolf Mix is like such a versatile piece of kit to have in your, you know, your mobile DJ setup or nightclub or whatever. You could be even in a bar, and you've got ambient lighting, and then you want to sort of like whatever. Right, the Wolf Mix is versatile, and it is a lovely piece of kit, and it takes less than a second to start up. So there we go. So I'm going to go and help him midweek. Friday, I am over St. Albans. I've got 2 school discos back to back. It's a new school, so a little bit nervous about it, but on the same token, really looking forward to it because it is a new school. It's only 2 1-hour discos back to back. So we'll have prizes, we'll have confetti cannons, we'll have singing, dancing, we'll have all that. It's going to be great. Looking forward to that one. And then on Saturday, Sweet 16 birthday, again, local one. Got the selfie pod out for that one. They wanted the selfie pod. So I've got a selfie pod where I don't do prints. They literally scan the QR code or email or WhatsApp or text it to themselves. So do that. And it seems popular. They use the props, they have a laugh. And that's what I like about the selfie pod, is that if there's a group of 3 of you, you know, who gets that picture? Who's going to stick that picture on the fridge? You know, out of the 3 of you. But at least this way, everyone can have a copy of that. They could just download it, you know, scan the QR code, download it to the phone, and then share it. Love that. So that's Saturday's party. And then after that, I'm actually going to a friend's 50th birthday. I used to go to school with him. I can't get there at the start, which is at 7 o'clock, so I'll be doing this other disco. But yeah, I'm going to go and see him, surprise him. And I think he knows I'm coming. So that would be nice. I won't be able to stay long because I'm not going to get there till about 10 o'clock. But yeah, looking forward to that. And Sunday, another kids' party, 7-year-old, joint 7-year-old birthday party, kids' party. So looking forward to that as well. And then next week, we'll be back on the Groove Junction with episode 78. So if you want to come on the Groove Junction, hit me up, let me know. It'd be lovely to have you on. Yeah, I would love it. I would absolutely love it. Now, listen, guys, as I said earlier on, the Pro Mobile Conference in March, tickets are selling quite fast now, okay? There's not many left, so if you haven't got your ticket, jump on the website, look at all the keynote speakers, look at who's going to be doing the seminars, come down for the networking. You know, you can come for the whole weekend, you can get the day pass, you know, there's different options for you there. It's on a Sunday and a Monday, so most people don't have any events on Sundays or Mondays, so it falls quite nicely. So come down if you can. Jump on that website, grab your ticket. There's not many left. Okay, so do it. It's a great couple of days. You're going to learn something and you're going to meet lots of people, and I'm looking forward to that. Okay. As I say, if there's any subjects you want us to talk about on the Groove Junction, something, I mean, could be anything. How do I talk into a microphone? How do I do a DMX? What does this mean? What does that mean? If I know the answer, I'll tell you. If I don't know, I'll find out for you. All right, simple as that. Sharing is caring. So hit me up if you've got any questions or anything you'd like to talk about, or if you'd like to come on the show. Again, just drop me a PM or anything. Now, listen, guys, thank you ever so much, as always, for your continued support here at the Groove Junction. Thank you to our friends at Wolf Mix and Pro Mobile Magazine. As I always say, I wish you safe and I wish you well. Look after yourselves and look after each other. Until the next time, be lucky.